Sai Ram, there is one thing to know about the finality of this body. As we say, all that is born is going to die, and that's the only truth for the born. The born must die. To know about the frailty of human existence, Shankaracharya ji very aptly described it, that the existence of consciousness in a human body is like that of a drop of water on a leaf. As long as it is there, it looks shiny and silvery. But the existence of that drop of water on the leaf is temporary. It shines as long as it's there, and when the moment comes, the drop falls from the leaf. And the drop has to fall from the leaf. And so when that moment comes, how do we accept that moment? How do we face that moment? How do we deal with that moment? How do we deal with this truth, which is known to all of us? But as they say, cometh the hour, cometh the man, cometh the moment, the man rises to the occasion and deals it with the understanding, with that acceptance, with that surrender, that all is as is meant to be, that all is happening for the highest interest of all, and this principle operates at all times. And to remember it in the hour of that sadness that comes through the attachment to the physical body, comes because of the relationships, the names that we've given, comes with the attachments and associations we've created. And we cannot stay without those attachments and associations. They are as real as is consciousness. But to be able to separate it at that moment, and to be able to see it like that, and to be able to deal with that from that perspective, from that understanding, and to be able to release your loved one from the pain and suffering your loved one is going through, and to be able to step back at that time and not see what is in front of you as a body of your loved one, but as the highest act of compassion, of karuna, to be able to let go, to end the pain and suffering, and the ability to do it with equanimity is what this journey is about, is what this understanding is about. And as we said, this understanding is not of any use if it is packed in books, in audiobooks or written books, if we don't live and practice it in our life. And then even one word of that is given about the understanding of what the unity of consciousness is all about. That how the drops do not have a separate identity from the ocean. If that is experienced by us, if it is lived by us, that is the highest truth. When I was contemplating about this last night, I remembered the famous words of Kabir, where he said, Pothi pothi pad jag muwa, pandit bhaya na koe, ढाई आखर प्रेम के पड़े सो पंडित होए. That we don't become a scholar by reading books, by reading volumes and volumes of books and gaining and acquiring knowledge. He said, that one who has read, understood, and practiced the 2.5 letters in the word called prema or love is the highest scholar. And this little time that we have as blips of consciousness, as this unstable drop of water on this leaf, is an opportunity for us to experience this love that makes everything come together. The message of oneness is a message of love. The message of love is the message of existence, the message of consciousness. And we, all of us, are together here only because it's this love that we have started to experience in our hearts, that whenever we come together, whenever we think of each other, we start experiencing this love. And I think what sets this group apart from so many others is that love. That love which sees divinity in each one, which sees the purity being reflected on the faces, on the light that we see in the eyes of people. That is what moves us. That is what makes our hearts full of love. And that's the message of the masters. That's the message of eternity. That's the message that every avatar, every master comes to just tell us this one message. And these are the moments when we contemplate, when we are forced to come face to face with that understanding. And how we deal with it, how we accept it, is the test that consciousness puts all of us through. At all points of time, each one of us is being tested. As we evolve in our understanding, as we practice this truth, as we live and stand firmly in this truth, the consciousness has the habit of ensuring that you are steady in that truth. You are not shaken and blown away by every gust of wind that comes. You are steadfast. Bhagavad Gita calls it sthit prajna. Steadfastness comes out of the right understanding of the truth of who we truly are, what the self is. And that gives us fearlessness. That gives us a courage. That gives us the ability to see and witness these events when they happen to us and around us. When we remain unaffected, when the storm is blowing all around us. And still at that time, our heart is just pounding in love. Every pore of our skin, every cell of our body is radiating and oozing that love out. Where we finally live a life which is not to do with anything about this human body, but it is about how can we be of service and value to others. And that's the message that keeps coming back to us again and again, again and again. And as we have been speaking, the times are so beautiful when everything is collapsing, when the time is getting crunched, everything is happening almost in a fast forward motion. Things are getting escalated because we all have to move into our higher selves, because this planet has moved up and we are being asked to join and be in that at all times. So, therefore, whatever balance is left, whatever past is left, whatever needs to be expunged has to be expunged. A lot of people are feeling, chest infections because it's through the lungs that it comes out. People are feeling unwell, people are feeling unsteady, people are feeling woozy, people are having anxiety attacks, people are feeling absolutely tired, and the bodies are trying to get rid of. Because remember, all that we have been holding on in us, which we call as karmas, is stored in us energetically. We don't know that it is energetically there in our subconscious. We get to know it only when it comes out. When it starts to come out, when it starts to leave our body, that's when the body starts to, and the mind starts to, feel the tremors of that. It's nothing but a clearing out. And this is the time of a massive clearing out that's happening across the planet, actually, across many, many planets in our solar system. So, this is a time of that great cleanse that is upon us. And we've spoken about it, that there is a great sense of urgency for souls to leave this planet because they have work in another body, in another place. So, this is the year of a great exodus as well. And this is the time when, new tasks are being assigned. So, it's a very beautiful time actually. If we are able to see ourselves away from this mind body identification, and we are able to separate ourselves from that, and we are able to see it for what it is, then it's a time of great celebration, because we're all moving into that space, and we're able to talk about it, we're able to experience this, because we have all gone through so much together. We've held each other's hands and we've moved beyond to a very beautiful zone. And I know that because we're all so deeply connected. And I have experienced each one of you. I've experienced a shift in each one of you. And so when these so-called challenging times are upon us, remember they are a gateway. They are a gateway that is opening for us to step into our higher selves. And it depends upon each one of us whether we are going to feel heavy about it or we are going to dance into that gateway and cross it. Because nothing is real. In this phenomenal world, everything is changing so rapidly around us. So, with that moment that consciousness created for us, created the context of our discussion today, because it's just happened 2 hours back. And it's a good time to reflect. It's like what we say, let's do a status check of where we are, how we are all progressing. What is it that you're feeling right now in your heart? If you're feeling still heavy about this, then you need to do some release. You need to look at some work that still needs to be done with Trikuti. Be generous in clearing out. But if you're feeling light and you're feeling energetic, then you know that you have crossed that big hurdle that big energetic block that the mind brings. So, good time for a self evaluation and to see where we are in this journey. And each one of us are together in this. Remember, this is a journey we've decided that we'll do together. It's a Sangha, it's a family, and we know that we are going to be there for each other at all times. Uh, we are we are in that process of collectively facing the challenges unfold and walking through it. The fire seems like a fire that can burn us, but when we walk through this fire, it doesn't even, burn a single hair. That's how we are protected. That's how we are being carried through this. That's how strong the protection is around us. So with that knowingness, we move together and we share with each other all the gifts that have been given to us. Because each one of us has a unique gift, and each one of us has something to give to the other and to the others. We keep sharing, we keep helping, and we keep moving together. Because, as I have said repeatedly, these are not the times of individual doership. This is not the times of looking at heroes. This is the time of coming together in one collective, and the collective moves together, and the collective gathers speed, and the collective becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Because the light has to be powerful enough, strong enough that it can convert, it can transform, it can bring in the change in consciousness. It needs to be able to overcome the inertia of this third dimensional reality, this whole strong gravitational pull of the mind, which constantly keeps interrupting and saying, I know, I know, I know, I know. This smartness of ours has, got us nowhere. And this need to surrender and say, I don't know. I want to be carried there. This this requires a collective coming together of selfless hearts, beating as one in this pure, sacred love, this coming together of the divine feminine. Because this pure love is coming from the mother and the sacred mother, the mother who's created this. And that love is carrying us through. So, with that, I just want to tell you once again, I love you all, and we're together in this love. So, thank you for being here this evening. Love you all. Sai Ram. Samastu Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings in all dimensions be happy, healthy, and together. Peace, peace, peace.